This is Savage Jim, and this is my 2011 Ford Mustang GT 5.0 liter. You can see that from the fender badge over here. The reason why I have it up on jacks at the moment is because I need to make an adjustment to the driver's side front wheel. The particular alignment that is askew is the toe. I believe it is towed out too much. Before I crawl underneath and start to mess with any of the adjustments on the suspension, what I want to do is I want to go ahead and make sure that my steering wheel is in a centered position. As you can see, it's slightly askew, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start it up and get the engine running and have the assistance of my power assist to get the wheel into the center position. There we are. So that I will have the steering wheel in its correct position where it needs to be, and then I can adjust that front wheel accordingly. I am now underneath of my car and I'm looking at the tie rod. First and foremost, before I actually crawled underneath of here, once again, is I made sure that the parking brake was engaged and also that I put it into gear. This is a manual transmission, so I wanted to make certain that the car is not simply going to roll off and come off of my jacks that I have propped up on that piece of the chassis brace here. For the task here, I am going to use this crescent wrench. I've already adjusted it to fit the nut. Please forgive me for not getting a better view over here. I didn't raise my front end high enough, and the wrench, so thus I have to hold the wrench a lot closer to the camera here, so it's hard to see it. But this is your standard type crescent wrench. This one is a 500 millimeter, or probably about a 12-inch wrench. I apologize for the shakiness of this video, but there's not a whole lot of room to work underneath of here. Let me show you the equipment that I will be making the adjustments on. Over here is the tie rod itself. This connects to the electronic power assist unit, and of course this end is the tie rod end, which mounts to the steering wheel joist up here to turn the wheel. That nut right there, I've already loosened it with a wrench. I'm going to just loosen it out with my fingers some, so that I will be able to turn the tie rod itself to make it go in and out of the tie rod end, to either shorten it or lengthen it, to either pull the toe in or push the toe out. On the Mustang GT, the tie rod is in front of the steering wheel pivot point right here, so that means to pull your toe in you will need to shorten the tie rod length by turning it in to the tie rod end, and likewise to lengthen your tie rod end length, you will open your toe out. I'm going to go ahead and grab a wrench to turn at these flat surfaces on the tie rod. This is where you apply your wrench to rotate it so that you could make it turn in or out of the tie rod end as appropriate. I have just adjusted my wrench now to fit the tie rod, but the tie rod points here where you could turn it in and out with your wrench. It's located right here on the Mustang GTs, at least the 2011 plus GTs from what I understand. To turn it so that the tie rod and the tie rod end shorten, simply turn it back this way, looking from my position. That would be a clockwise manner on the driver's side tie rod. Once you have the tie rod to the appropriate length that you need it and adjusted properly, simply the only thing needed to do is to simply screw that nut back up against the tie rod end and take your wrench and torque it back down. I believe the specs might be set for 60 foot-pound. I don't have an appropriate nut wrench tool to reach around to apply my torque wrench to, so I just kind of have to wing it. What I wanted to go over is how I measured to see if my wheel is out of alignment. In particular, like I was saying, the toe is out of alignment, and so I had to do this myself. I don't have any a professional wheel realigner, so I'm just using rather simple tools. The tools I'm simply using are just a tape measure and this carpenter square. Now what I did is I needed to take a measure across the vehicle from this point right here of the rim. Put my square up here against the rim. And again, I need to measure across the vehicle on the back side of the rim. Now, I'm going to measure against both tires. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my square, put it up so that it's against the rim right here at the edge on the front of the wheel. Move my tape measure just like that. And I'm going to pull it across. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, except I'm going to pull the tape measure all the way across. So I have the end of the tape measure right here. That will give me my my measurement on the front of the wheel. And then I'm going to do the same process again for the rear of the wheel. Right here. Ideally, you want a neutral toe. That means you want both the measurement across the vehicle from this point here to be the same as the measurement from across the vehicle back here. Any difference, that will indicate you either have toe in or toe out, which is not what you do not want. Alright, with everything all adjusted in, let's go ahead and take it out for a spin to make sure the wheel adjustment and the work is actually done properly. Make sure my wheel is centered. Let's get it to a straight here. I'll take my hands completely off the wheel to see if it has any sort of pull. And look at that, no pull. Looks like a job well done. If you all enjoyed the video, comment below and like, and if anything, I'm always in a learning mode. I don't claim to be an expert at everything, so by all means please comment below if I could have done something better.